I want to talk about apps. There's a lot of startups obviously in the world now, and it's become a real buzzword in order to have an app, to have a startup, like it's a cool thing, right? In the next couple of videos, I want to be sharing tips, strategies, techniques in order to get your startup off the ground, but at the same time to save you money and actually get you more performance. So the first thing I want to talk about is the number one question that people have, like, should you have a website or should you have an app? Now, there's become a big misconception that everyone thinks you need to have an app. Everyone wants an app, right? Apps are cool. That is probably one of the furthest things from the truth, right? And let me tell you what, apps are great, and yes, you should have one once you have a user base, or if you have functionality that you can't implement in your website, right? Because of the nature of the way it is. But here's the thing about an app versus a website. Now, a website is search engine optimized. It ranks. People will search for your services and find it on Google, find it on other search engines. You can share links to specific pages, products, offers within your startup through your website. You can't do that in an app, right? So with an app, you end up spending a lot more money to market your app itself, to get people to download it, and you're not being found naturally. So what do a lot of people do? Well, they tend to create these single page websites that talk about the app and say with a link to download it, right? But now you're losing all that traffic power, right? When you're running an ad for an app install, whether using Google, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform it is, an app install always costs a lot more than a website traffic ad. So unless you want to be spending a lot more money on your marketing to get those app installs, and then as soon as the user uses it, and if he doesn't like it, or it takes up too much space on his phone and he deletes it, you've lost that user. The only way you had to communicate with him before was through your push notifications and your emails, but now he's already gone as a customer. Now with a website, whenever they're searching for your services, if you've optimized your website properly, you're always ranking. And you're not asking for a commitment from the user, because he doesn't have to download and keep your app on his phone, right? He can always access your website through any link which you can share anywhere. So if you're going to do a startup, I would highly recommend, regardless of whether you have an app or not, do not neglect your website and actually spend time on building a good website. One massive benefit a website has over an app as well is that it's compatible on all devices. You can roll out a new feature, a new functionality, a new look, a new design instantly, versus developing cross-platforms, different apps, uploading them to the store, waiting for them to get approved, and if you don't have developers in-house, then that's going to take forever. It's going to keep costing you more and more money. Do not neglect your website when it comes to this question. So here are some of my reasons why you should definitely have a website, regardless of whether you're going to have an app or not. With your website, you get free exposure on search engines. You can optimize it in order to get found for the services that you provide. You're not requiring any commitment from anyone to use it. You've got cheaper ads that you're running because they're just clicks to your website and they cost a fraction of the price of an app install. You can update the functionality and features as you like. You can easily run a split test to have different versions of your website and see which one's converting more. You can be nimble enough to keep updating it to optimize your conversion rates, and if something's not working, you just change it. And of course, it can be a lot more cost effective to run. And don't fall for that marketing hoo-ha, right? Where it's like, no, people need an app. Well, they don't necessarily need an app. As long as they can use your services, then you can go to market and actually start providing those services to the market immediately. Your objective is to create sales, to create transactions, to get new users, to get activity, and that doesn't matter whether it's on an app or a website. I'll be making a series of videos on startups, and if you have any specific questions, just drop a comment below and I will answer them in my upcoming videos.